Whenever someone asks me what I do for a living, I always tell them that I do social media, but in reality, I make my living doing OnlyFans. The reason why I don't tell people what I do is because it can make the interaction really weird or uncomfortable because they become overly fixated on every detail and they're just too curious, or sometimes people can react really negatively, which puts me in a very uncomfortable position. So I've decided to keep that part of my life private. Deciding whether or not to tell certain people is one of the hardest parts of this job because you really just don't know how people are going to react, especially when it's in a family setting. Maybe I'll just start telling people that I'm a yoga instructor and I post videos online.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to admit, this is a very, 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 very interesting video to me on a multitude of different levels. Of course, it's yours truly, Good Doc Dr. Mike TV, back again once again. Shout out to the IPA, you already know what it is. But in this particular video, this young lady says that she finds it weird to tell people what her actual occupation is. So she kind of beats around the bush in letting people know what she does for a living. Now, I can understand it from her perspective. Just give me a minute. If you tell people that you do OnlyFans, it could entice a lot of creepy guys to want to, become intrigued by what it is that you do and ask a lot of perverse questions. It could end very badly. All right? Or the opposite end. It could just be uncomfortable for you to admit to the fact that you're an OnlyFans model. You see, I kind of feel like if you weren't ashamed of it, you wouldn't hide it, right? And eventually, it's likely going to come out because somebody's going to probably be subscribed to your content, or somebody going to say, oh, I know I seen that face somewhere. And they just going to find out where they seen that face, and they're going to realize, oh, baby girl, an OnlyFans model. You see, you can only hide it for so long before people start to become intrigued. Now, you can hide it or mask it behind the idea of wanting to tell people that you're a yoga instructor, but eventually it's going to all come to a head, right? You can only hide something like that for so long, right? And I know it can make you uncomfortable, but I gotta ask the question, if it made you uncomfortable, why did you choose the occupation in the first place, right? Growing up, people used to want to be a part of occupations that they were proud of, right? When you was a kid, right? I don't know, male or female. When you was a kid, you dreamed of being something, right? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to be a cowboy, right? You dreamed of jobs that you would be proud to tell people that you did. But now I'm at the point in my life where these OnlyFans models, they're not really proud of their work. The majority of them are not really proud of their work. They're embarrassed to tell people that this is what they do for a living, but yet and still they do it. Why? Because it makes them monies, right? And again, if it pays you and it pays you well and you're doing well off of it, I can't stand between you and your bread. I do, however, find it to be extremely difficult for you guys to hold down relationships from the female perspective if you are going to choose said occupation for longevity. Right? Because there's not a lot of longevity in OnlyFans. But if you can make up all the money that you can and rack it up and, stack it up as quick as you possibly can, and it's working for you, by all means, you do you. I can't hold that against you. But yet and still, I want you to understand that this is something that's probably going to follow you for the rest of your life. Right? And then she said something interesting that, I find it to be uncomfortable to talk about it in like family settings. Yeah, no guy wants to bring home an OnlyFans model to meet the family, right? Nobody wants to bring that type of young lady home, and you know why. It's not a career that you can be proud of. And I'm not sitting here scolding or talking shit, it's just the truth. Because you wouldn't beat around the bush, or you wouldn't have to disguise what you do for a living and telling people you're a yoga instructor. Hell, my uncle's a yoga instructor. Motherfucker be killing it. But you shouldn't have to hide the fact that that's what you do for a living if you weren't ashamed of it. You wouldn't have to hide it if you weren't ashamed of it. Because that society frowns down upon people who participate in what I would have to say would be considered adult content or a part of the adult industry. And so I can honestly tell you, I can't find one guy that has any sense, or at least one guy that has any ounce of respect for himself, that's A, gonna take you seriously, and B, wanna bring you home. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Nobody wants to deal with an OnlyFans model seriously. That's all I'm saying. They'll they will have intercourse with you. They'll treat you like, I guess I'm getting caught up in this the new wave. What's the new term? Sneaky link? Whatever that shit is. You could be a sneaky link, right? But ain't nobody gonna take you serious. It'll be hard for you to find a guy that has any ounce of respect or dignity for himself that will take you seriously as a girlfriend. And, I don't feel bad for any young lady that chooses this occupation and gets rejected because she could have done something else. That's all I'm gonna say. You could have done something else. All right? If you played your cards right, you could have been a wife and you ain't have to work. You could have found you a good dude, because she's not ugly. She ain't ugly at all. Right? I don't know if it's the attitude, the energy, the liberalism, the feminism, or the feministic type of energy that you want to hold or whatever that makes you feel like, this is my body, this is my choice, I'm going to do what I want to, I'm going to screw guys on camera. Or if you're part of the solo content creator space that occupies the OnlyFans, oh, I'm going to do this, and you guys are going to pay to watch me, but you can't touch me, and you better respect me. It's hard, okay? Because you got to understand the psyche of dudes. And a guy I cannot see a guy in his right mind respecting. Let me back up, because that's not fair. They'll respect you, but I don't think they'll take you seriously. All right? It's going to be hard for me to find any guy that's going to take you serious. A guy that has any ounce of respect or dignity for himself. He's not going to wife you up. He's just not. Give me one good reason why he should. Right? Just give me one good reason why he should. And back to what the homeboy Wallow said in a video a while back, Wallow267, 167 million young ladies in the United States, and you can't find one. Unfortunately, if she's a representative of the 167 milli that be here in the United States for guys to be able to choose from, not necessarily a pick that I see a lot of guys going for. But I do, however, find it really interesting that she has to lie. I think, to me, that's the main point of this entire video. Why lie about it? If you were confident enough and you loved it enough, why lie about it? Just tell the dude straight up, I'm an OnlyFans model. Let's see how you react. And you know that he's going to react in a negative way because you said it in the video. You have an idea that he's going to react in a very hesitant way, or he's going to be interested, or he's going to have this perverse mindset of, try to find your shit or your content or whatever. It could go a multitude of different ways, but truth be told, I don't think baby girl's proud of what she does. And if you're not proud of it and you feel like you gotta hide it from people, don't you think you may have just made not necessarily the best decision for your life long term? Because I promise you, that money up front gonna be sick. That shit gonna be hit. I can almost guarantee. Usually, if you're good at what you do and you can market yourself well, that OF money can hit. It can hit different, for a couple months. Hell, it may even sustain you for a couple of years, but time gonna come when you gonna wanna settle down, right? And all the guys who bought your content over the years, you act like you can just completely delete your OnlyFans account. That shit just gonna be the end of it. No, baby girl, once that content is out there forever. Trust me, every video that I've ever made, heaven forbid somebody go back in my catalog, or heaven forbid I become super famous, right, doing YouTube shit. I don't see it happening, but somebody scroll back in my content from 2, 3, 4 years ago and I done said some shit that could possibly get me canceled. It is what it is, because the content lives forever. It's gonna live forever. So baby girl, if this is something that you're comfortable and confident and okay with living forever, continue doing what you do. So, there's really no going back at this point. If you ask me, there's no going back. This is it. This is life now, right? Until you age out and nobody's really subscribing to your content like that, and then you try to settle down and try to create a life for yourself outside of OnlyFans money, and I pray that money sustains you for the rest of your life, because it's going to be hard for you to get a job. I mean, heaven forbid you actually try to get a job in corporate America or wherever, and people trace back your social media to you doing that stuff. They're not going to want to be associated with you either. So not only is it going to complicate your work or your potential work fulfillment in the future, it's gonna fuck up your chances of getting a solid quality guy in the future as well. I mean, but if that's not what you're looking for, continue racking up the mileage on that punani. Continue racking up the money for the OnlyFans account, and baby girl, I wish you the best of luck. But I feel like if you didn't have to lie about it, if you were really that confident in it, if you were really that confident in that content that you were putting out, you wouldn't have to lie about it or tell people that you're a yoga instructor. That's all I'm saying. That's my time, effort, and energy, guys, man. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. You already know what it is, man. Good talk, man. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed. Doc is out. Peace.